Hey, Jen. Thanks for joining.
Oh, I can see them right on the screen. That's even better.
I know, right? Hey, Rachel. How is everyone on this Friday?
It's like a lot of your folks showing up. Don't disappoint me.
I have some people on, but they're being quiet. Say hello to those who are on. Looks like we got 11.
There we go. Maybe you just want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself so they can get warmed up.
Awesome. Hey, Randy. Thanks for joining. So, my name is Mandy McEwen, and my agency, Girl Marketing, is an inbound marketing consultancy, and I have been an SEO nerd for over a decade now. And yeah, I also help entrepreneurs like you all grow. So we have a Facebook group, Mod Agency Insiders, that some of you are in. And that's really my passion, is helping marketing entrepreneurs and remote agency owners succeed by sharing everything that I have acquired over a decade of doing this. I started Girl back in 2010. So we are all remote. We help healthcare and B2B companies. I personally, my specialty is in SEO and kind of the inbound marketing side of things. And so right now, I'm really passionate about helping entrepreneurs and marketing agencies get high-paying clients. So really targeting on, you know, your definition of a dream client, how to go out and get them, and how to land high monthly retainers, and really how to live your lifestyle, you know, agency that you're wanting to without having to mess with those low-paying, pain-in-the-ass clients that we are all too familiar with. So that's kind of my goal and my mission, is to share all of my knowledge and insights on how to go about running an agency or a consultancy from your home, remotely, wherever you want, and only working with your dream clients. So that's kind of, that's my passion. But, you know, of course, we work with clients and stuff too, but I really love helping people like you and sharing everything I know. So, and I love Chris because we have the same values, and he likes to share his knowledge too. And he has a wealth of knowledge in SEO. And so, yeah, I'm happy to be here with you guys. Definitely.
Great. All right. I guess just start loading up your questions and we'll get into it.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks you guys for joining. Mohammed, thanks so much.
Jonathan says, got everything to work. Yeah, it was a bit of a, it didn't go well at first, but we had it under control now, I think.
We figured it out.
Yeah.
We are here.
Yeah, their live platform still has a little ways to go, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Why is everybody being so quiet today?
I know, right? It's Friday. Y'all should be pumped. Got 16 people on. They're trickling in here.
Yeah.
Turn it up so I can hear you better. There we go. So yeah, feel free, you guys, to ask anything about SEO in general to Chris, or how to get clients, land clients, anything you want is open. So feel free to ask away.
Yeah, AMA doesn't work unless we do the first day. So let's get some questions coming in. Usually I can't, you know, I can stay here all day. I don't know why everybody's being shy today.
Maybe because it's Friday the 13th.
That could be it.
You know, it's a possibility.
I actually had to meet with my accountant earlier, and I thought maybe that Friday the 13th wasn't the right day to do that, but I only had a couple days left, so.
I know, right? That is a random day to do taxes on.
Yeah. Jen says, what are your favorite SEO tools for WordPress? I don't really use that many. Like Yoast SEO and SERP.net are probably my favorites. Yeah. Now they're starting to come in.
Now they come in.
Tony says, what SEO service would you say to offer first?
I like to offer a foot in the doors, so like an audit is what I like to do. It's always easy to do a simple website, you know, SEO audit. So that's what I would offer first.
Great.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I like to rank like a low competition term and give that away, and then stuff like that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Jordan says, what's been your most effective method to cold call?
So I don't do a ton of cold call. My definition of a cold call is when I've reached out to them on LinkedIn and on email, and then I call and I follow up. So I've never done just like straight flat cold call. I always do that as like the third step, you know. So I'll go and I'll reach out on LinkedIn. I'll contact them via email. I'll try to strike up the conversation first online, and then I will call. And if I can't get a hold of, you know, if they're not responding and they're a really awesome prospect that I want to talk to, then I'll pick up the phone and I will say, hey, have you been getting my emails and my messages and whatnot? So that's kind of how I go about using the phone and trying to get, you know, the conversation started. But I usually start online first.
And LinkedIn is kind of like your thing, right?
Yes, for getting clients. Yes, B2B clients for sure. LinkedIn. Yep.
Oleg says easy links to get for new websites for any niche. Citations are usually a good place to start. Social profiles, things like that. Anything you can get for free that helps build your brand.
Definitely. Web 2.0 properties.
Web 2.0, yeah. All right. Well, I'm bringing up, the questions are scrolling off my phone, so I'm bringing it up over here.
I know. Contracts.
Jonathan says, what are your favorite industry clients? Like, what's your favorite niche? That sort of thing.
My favorite niche is probably B2B healthcare. So healthcare in general, but if I were to get specific, I'd say B2B healthcare or like med tech. I like those. So I like B2B in general, but I'm kind of partial to the healthcare clients just because we've been doing it for a while and I really like it. And it's kind of that evergreen niche it's just, you know, only going to continue getting bigger. So I would say that and kind of the B2B technology space. Those are my preferred favorite niches.
And do you recommend like niching down your agency like that, or do you take anybody that'll?
100%. Yes. So I talk a lot about this, about niching down. And so I was just talking to my remote agency society members yesterday on a live about the importance of getting super specific on who you're targeting, but that doesn't mean that you are saying no to other people that aren't your, perfect fit. You're just being selective with, how you spend your time and your resources and your money marketing to people. But if you were to still get a random lead that didn't fall into that category, by all means, you can take it because we have random clients, but you really need to get clear because that's the best way for you to stand out is to hone in on a particular target market and put your LinkedIn profile, your website, your social properties. Like people have to know that that's who you work with is them. And then if other people trickle in, awesome, take them on as clients. But you really need to focus your time and your efforts on targeting your dream clients and calling them out. So I talk a lot about that.
Great. Jade says, nice to see you back from WrestleMania. Yes, sir. Had a good time. Glad to be home, though. Randy says, so I know we had some talk about this yesterday, but what's your thought on contracts? I asked because I'm in the middle of a third-round contract revision with a client, and it's a pain. So he's asking, what do you think about using contracts, or do you do a month-to-month, or how do you do it?
Yeah, so it depends on what the service is, but I always like, so, if the process is, you're first selling the foot in the door, then there would be no contracts. Why is someone putting a mean face? That's rude.
Yeah, I know. They do that just to disrupt me, I swear.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. Sorry. Jeez. So if it's like a foot in the door, I try not to do, it's just a basic agreement. It's like a one-time only thing. But if I'm signing on a client, like an ongoing SEO client, I definitely want to do at least a 6-month agreement, possibly 12 months. So that's how I handle that. But in the middle of a third-round contract revision, yeah. Sometimes, thanks for all the hearts. I love it. Sometimes with bigger clients, you're going to get that, because like I've had clients where their attorneys get involved and they like send us back the contract and there's just like red after red after red after red. And I'm like, that's fine. If that's how you guys want to do it, as long as it obviously is making sense. So that's just kind of the nature of the beast. But yes, to answer your question, I think it's very important to have agreements in place.
Okay. Logan says, I have a potential client. They want a website built and are interested in starting SEO. Would you offer a special price the first month for the design and SEO? I'll answer that first. I don't ever offer special prices for anything because it sets the precedent that you're willing to cut your price down and they're going to keep expecting discounts forever. That's just my take on it, but maybe you have a different thought.
No. When we did web design projects, we just recently stopped doing web design a couple years ago. I would bulk it in. So there's no special discounts, but I don't do web design unless it's an SEO friendly website. Like that's what we like Google SEO friendly web design, you know, like that's what we did. And so that just comes with it. And that's how you can charge higher, Logan, is because you're not just giving them web design. You're giving them an SEO friendly website, which a ton of web developers don't do. They fail to do that. So you're selling yourself short if you're going to give yourself, you know, if you're going to offer a special price. You want to play that up like, look, I am an SEO friendly web designer. And so not only are you going to get a beautiful website, but I'm going to help you rank it on first page of Google. And that's more than a lot of web design companies are willing to do. And because of that, my price is XYZ.
That's a great answer. It's nice to have a different perspective because I never looked at it that way before. Let's see. Oleg says, hottest new Web 2.0 properties you like to use? There really aren't any new ones. I'm a big fan of using meetups, though. Those rank really well. They give you a nice link, and they can generate you some business. So let's see. How to generate a steady flow of qualified SEO leads. This is Kirill, who gave us the hearts, by the way. So.
Oh, thanks, Kirill, for your hearts.
Yeah,
sending love back to you. Steady flow of SEO leads is depending on your market. So for me, I like to use LinkedIn. Obviously, LinkedIn is great for particular markets. So like if you're going after different types of like local business owners, like they're probably not going to be super active on LinkedIn. But when I'm talking about like the B2B industry, I like using our LinkedIn Legiit is what I do. And then of course, I like combining some cold email outreach with that and specific targeted messaging. So going back to targeting those dream clients, that's how we land our high-paying SEO clients is we speak directly to them. So in everything we do, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's inbound marketing with lead magnets, whatever it is, it's speaking directly to them. So this could be anything from content marketing to LinkedIn outreach to cold email, but it's not just like, hey, we do SEO, you're a business, want to sign up? You know, it's super targeted. It talks about their leads. So for example, when we were big on, and we still work with plastic surgeons, but when we were really pushing plastic surgery, I created an ebook for female plastic surgeons, okay? And it's like the female surgeon advantage. And guess what I did? I got an email list of all the female plastic surgeons in the US, and I started basically stalking them and emailing them, calling them, finding them on LinkedIn, doing everything I can to get them to go through my funnel of getting this free ebook. And then I would sell them, or not sell them, I'd actually give them a free audit, like a mini audit, but everything was super targeted to female plastic surgeons. And it worked. Okay, so you have to get super, super, super targeted on who you're going after, and that's how you get those high-paying clients, because not a lot of people are doing this. You know, a lot of SEO companies are out there and they're just blasting out cold emails to businesses, and they're not super focused. And you know, you're one of a million people doing that. But when you choose a specific niche and you get in front of them and you target them and you help them with the exact, you know, challenge they're going through, that's how you stand out, and that's how you get people on the phone and sell those high-paying clients.
Awesome. Let's see. Jonathan says, SEO versus paid ad acquisition. What do you prefer? I would say paid ads if I had to choose between the two of them, but neither are my favorite method for getting clients.
Yeah, SEO just takes time. So, I mean, if you're like talking about getting clients for your business, I would not say SEO because it just takes time. You know,
you should definitely do that like in the background, like while you're doing other things, but
100%.
I wouldn't rely on it at all. So
I agree. You should still have everything SEO friendly that, you know.
Yeah. I also find the leads that come in through my site are not the greatest usually. So
yeah.
So, all right. Randy says, I think I need to get a simple work agreement. Yeah, that's probably best for the beginning.
Yes.
Kirill says, how to actually present and close those SEO leads with 5K monthly retainers. This is right up your alley.
It is, but that's kind of a loaded question, Kirill. I mean, that's what my, you know, so I have a products and programs that go over this in detail. So I actually have, you know, a sales deck, like from Google Slides that we, you know, that's how we do it. So that's how we close those high-paying clients is after we sell the foot in the door, which is either some sort of audit or a strategy or whatever it is. Then we present, you know, on via conference call our screen, and it has a very, very nice presentation where we already did a little bit of work, you know, just to let them know that this is the issues that you're having and here's how we can solve it. But that's it. You know, you just have to build that relationship and have everything be super nice and clean and crisp and clear. Another thing that I've done is I make a video ahead of time for these people, for these prospects. So if I have a really good prospect, like let's say it's a $25,000 SEO consulting project, right? I'll go ahead, and if I know that I have a really good shot at winning it, I'll spend, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and I will make a video for them and like walk through like high level of their website to where they're like, oh gosh, we had no idea it was this bad, right? And then I'll send them that and I'll be like, here's what I found, and this is what we could do. And so you kind of have to, if you want those high paying clients, you have to show them up front that you know your stuff, right? And I'm not saying you need to spend like hours on end. And I'm also, I say this with a caveat of like, you better be pretty sure that you have a really good shot at landing that client before you spend that time, So it's just honestly standing out, and a lot of people aren't willing to give even 5 minutes of their time to give some free information to these people. And so when you do that and you're giving them free information without, I'm not saying you need to spend like 6 hours doing this because I don't recommend that, but an hour tops, just going through, making a quick screen share video of your voice, going through their website and how awful it is, but in a nice way, and then send them that with like, hey, here's the high level of what we can do. Just things like that make you stand out and make you, increase your chances of getting those high paying clients.
Right. Sharon, and I apologize if I get yours or anyone else's name wrong, but he says, how to get away with duplicate multi-location city pages like Chris has on Superstar about SEO about page. So for the longest time, you could change the geo modifier and it wouldn't affect your SEO. It may still not, but I am going to start changing that. So don't do that. Create like unique content for each location. It's only $5-10 to get a nice article written. So there you go. Jonathan says, what audit tool do you use?
We like to use like Raven tools and like Screaming Frog. And then we do a lot of manual work ourselves too. So I like getting their Google Analytics or Google Webmaster Tools. And so we just use, those tools mainly to like show them the backlinks and stuff. But when it comes to like a detailed audit, there's a lot of manual manpower involved in that.
Yeah, I don't like those. I mean, I like some of the people that develop some of those, but I don't like those crappy like WooRank ones where you just put in the URL and it gives you the exact same report.
Exactly.
Those have no value. And people I think are wise to it. So I think it's best to go and do a lot of it manually, like you say. So
exactly.
Oh, this one's right up your alley. Alexander says, do you outsource your work or is it all in-house? This is something that Mandy's much better at than I am, so I'm definitely going to leave this one to her.
Yes. Good question. I actually have a product called Mod Outsource Masters that goes over this. But I basically built my agency via outsourcing. So when I say in-house, that is a team of freelancers. And when I use the term outsource, that's like white label type SEO vendors, and people that help you build links and stuff like that. But I like to outsource, honestly, but we have, right now, it is primarily, my team of freelancers that I am working with. And so I consider them in-house because, I'm not outsourcing to a company. But I actually talk a lot about the fastest way to scale an agency when you're starting out is to leverage those, white label vendors and white label companies that can help you, take on more of that work. And then once you're more familiar with it and you're kind of getting your feet wet more, you can start hiring your own freelancers to work, with you. And so I have a whole program that details all of this, including how I hire and find the best freelancers too. It's called Mod Outsource Masters. But so that's pretty much my answer.
That's really important because like even as recently as like 6 months ago, I was doing literally everything myself. So since I stopped doing that, like I've grown exponentially. So I wish I'd have gotten on that a lot faster.
Definitely. Yeah, it makes a big difference for sure.
Yeah. Craig says, how do you deal with scummy agencies who don't know shit? I'll answer this one. I do better than them and I beat them. That's how I deal with them.
That's amazing. Scummy. I love the word scummy.
Yeah. Jen says, woman power. I'll try not to take that in offense. I'm just kidding.
I think it's when I use the word woman power.
Yeah, I know. Alexander says, top white label agencies. Don't you have a list or something of people you work with?
I do, but I sell it. That's proprietary information, Alexander. I do have an entire list of white label agencies, but Chris and, you're Legiit. It's kind of the same type, you can go to, Chris it's the same type of thing as long as you, it's honestly the same type of concept. So you can find, to be honest, when I first started outsourcing, Fiverr is where I found my first, that's how I got my feet wet, was like Fiverr, which is hilarious. But that was back in the day when it was like, the Wild Wild West and it had just launched. But yeah, I have a list of them, but it's in my Mod Outsource Masters program. So
yeah, I actually got my first quote unquote employee. I stole them from Fiverr as well. So
yes, love it.
Let's see. Alexander says like Kevin Lamb. I don't know who that is. Jade says, I was thinking going all white label route to start out. Yeah, if you're not comfortable doing the SEO yourself, it's definitely worth outsourcing. So it's definitely something to consider. I'm not going to say you should do one or the other, but it's something to consider. Ravi says, I have a team of 4 in-house working full time. Sometimes I feel my overhead is high, but I also feel to achieve my goal, I need to invest in a team. Yeah, I think you have to find the right balance. Like, you don't want people doing nothing, and you want to still be able to make a profit, but you have to balance your time versus the time that you're spending doing that stuff yourself versus how much it would cost to get somebody to do it. So
exactly.
Logan says, what is your sales process on LinkedIn? Do you offer a free audit or something similar?
Yeah. So the process is basically, so we use some tools to help us get in front of a lot of people of our target market very quickly by visiting their profile, connecting with them. And then it's basically just starting the conversation. So you want to start the conversation and then you want to start asking questions. So you don't even you don't pitch anything on LinkedIn. It's really just starting the conversation. Mm-hmm. Then the last thing is, hey, I was on your site and I noticed XYZ. I actually have, a few more tips that I think you'd find really helpful. It would only take 15 minutes for me to review these with you. I'd be happy to help. Let me know if you want to set up a call on Tuesday at 2 p.m. So that's kind of how we go about doing it, is you just start the conversation and get that personal connection going without saying anything about your company, because they've already looked at your LinkedIn profile anyway if they're going to respond to you, right? So they know what you do. So you don't need to say, hey, my name's Mandy and I can help you with your SEO. That's not necessary. You just need to start the conversation, then offer a couple of free tips, then try to get them on the phone and leave them hanging a little bit to where they're like, ooh, wow, I do kind of want to know more. And so then they pick up the phone and you have to be super casual about it. That's the thing, and how you're going to stand out, because people are getting bombarded on LinkedIn, just like on email. We all, as company owners, we get bombarded all the time. So the way to stand out is just don't make sure they're short messages and make them casual and not salesy and spammy at all, and just start up that conversation. The more personal you can get, the better. So if you see that they went to a college somewhere that you can relate to, or if you were just on vacation somewhere close to where they live, something like that, if you can tie in something personal to your messages, that really helps. Yeah,
that's really great, because I won't name names, but there's a pretty popular SEO course that teaches LinkedIn outreach, and there's a script that they give in it, and I get hit by my LinkedIn account that says SEO right in my name gets hit with that exact script at least twice a day.
Right.
So it's the point that I'm trying to make is that you need to look at their profile and say something personal, actually take the time rather than just spamming that same message over and over and over again.
Yes, so. Definitely. Hey, Alexander, just FYI, they were copywriters from Fiverr and they were really good, and they ended up staying with me for 4 years. So just saying, it wasn't poor clients. They were actually legit people. And this was this was when Fiverr first started too. So I wasn't hiring spammy backlinkers or anything, Alexander. They were copywriters to start. Just wanted to be clear on that. I'm all about my quality.
Greg says, what's one thing that you see in coming up that my agency can get on to provide more value than Scummy SEO Agencies?
I love that word. Specializing. Honestly, that's how you stand out from the scummy SEO agencies, because a lot of them aren't specializing. They're just saying they do SEO. So how you can stand out is specializing in particular industries and speaking directly to them, and providing value and being real. I cannot stress that enough. Make sure your face is on your website. Yep. A video would help. You have to seem like a real human being. A lot of these scummy SEO agencies that you're referring to, they don't have a human element to them. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
They just don't. And so when you have that human element and you're real and you like come from a place of value and you don't seem sketchy, then you're going to stand out. That's
I'm definitely going to go buy ScummySEOAgency.com after this is over.
Will you please? That'd be amazing.
Mario says, Chris, you mentioned the SEO leads coming to your website are not the best. Are these leads from Google, and can you explain why they're not the best? Yeah, they're generally from Google or wherever else, and I'm trying to be as delicate about this as possible. They are people that don't have a lot of money to spend a lot of the time and get sticker shock even with like low offers. Like I remember one guy said he doesn't want to spend more than $100 a month. I was like, you've already taken up more than $100 of my time with this phone call. So
yes.
I'm not trying to put anybody down. I understand the need to save money, but they don't fit what I'm trying to do with business. So it's not saying it's not worth it because it's still credibility. And, you know, even if you only get one good lead a year out of it, it's still worth it. But overall, they're just not great, and I wouldn't rely on it.
Yeah, I can vouch for that too. Same exact thing that happens. However, when you get super specific and you're like getting that low-hanging fruit from your ideal target market and you have like SEO-friendly blog posts that are really, really specific, those do well. But the majority of our leads too, Chris, the exact same thing that you just said, you know. So that's just the nature of the beast, honestly.
Scott says, and for the love of God, do not send a forum message. Yeah, absolutely. Elijah says, why is the guy on the left so good looking? Because I'm not related to you. Elijah's a friend of mine, so I'm not just beating up random people. Alexander says, just joking. Oh, you're talking about the fiber thing from before? Yeah.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time, Alexander. That's all. Just dishing it out.
Alexander says, do you target small business owners or marketing departments?
Both, actually. Now it's more marketing departments, but we still kind of like having that relationship too with the CEO. So they're not huge companies, but we work with other agencies too. And then, you know, from collaboration opportunities, and they are usually a little bit bigger, but we also work with small business owners too. So we do both, definitely.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, ScummySEOAgency.com. Plumber versus national chain. Alicia says, haha. Looks like we're caught up for the moment, so we'll give them a chance to catch up, and I'm gonna get some water.
Perfect. Yeah, in that case, Alexander, like plumber versus national chain, it all depends on what your goals are and like what you're trying to do, honestly. So that all just is like, what's your end goal? You know, what are you trying to accomplish here? And then work backwards, you know, is that going to help you getting those individual plumbers, or are you wanting to go after national chains?
Elijah says, what's a PBN? Stop trying to be funny. All right. We'll give it a couple more seconds to get some questions in and keep going. Good turnout today. Once we got the technology right.
Right.
That was embarrassing.
Nah, it can't be as bad as the very first co-live that I did. It was like a nightmare. It took like 15 minutes to get it back on, so that was nothing.
Oh, good. Yeah. I don't know why Zoom was giving us so much trouble. When I did this with Jim a couple weeks ago, we didn't have any issues, so whatever. Logan says, how long is your sales process on average?
That depends, because I like to close right away if I can on the phone, you know, with those foot in the door. So that would be a really short sales process. Otherwise, it's definitely like less than 2 weeks typically. Like I like to move as fast as I possibly can. So right. I'd say 2 weeks tops, depending on the client.
Yeah. Any longer than that, and I'm going to lose interest, to be honest. Yeah. I don't want to be chasing after people.
Exactly.
Andre says, what advice would you give to someone who is going to start its own digital marketing agency? Thanks. First thing I would say is focus on making money. Like build your website and stuff in the background, but sales, like do whatever it takes to start getting some revenue. Because until you do that, you don't really have a business, and you're going to get frustrated. So do you want to add anything to that?
That is so perfect. I love that you said that, because honestly, You don't need all of that stuff that you think you need. The biggest mistake I see a lot of startup agency owners is they spend so much time and money creating a beautiful logo and a beautiful website and content and this and that. And I'm like, you don't need any of that. Just go out and get a client. Like, that's all you need to do. So that would, honestly, I started my business from good old fashioned hustling in the Kansas City area from networking. That's where I'm from. I live in California now, but I started in Kansas City. And I didn't have a website at first, like, and when I did have it, it was a really crappy WordPress website that is like, you know, I would look back today and I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's embarrassing, you know, but it didn't matter because you just have to go out there and get a client. Like, don't worry about all of the branding and all of that. You just need to go and make it happen. So exactly what Chris said.
All right. Alexander says, do you charge per hour or per project? I can't speak for Mandy, but I charge per month.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, we don't do hourly for anything unless it's like in our contract, it's like if we go over the scope of, you know, if we have to do web design, whatever, it's this hourly, but that's only like if it goes over. So everything we do is value based. So like Chris, we have monthly retainers, but it's all based on value. So how you know that is asking the right questions and knowing, you know, what you can do for the client in terms of revenue. And so you base your pricing around that.
Great. Well, this is a long one. Alan says, with the bombardment of the smarmy SEO companies that send out solicitations for business, what do you do to prove to them that you are the real deal and can perform just as you say and achieve the goals they are looking for, whether it be increases in SERP or increased traffic? So basically, how do you tell people that you can do what you're going to do? You say you can do.
You show them, like I was saying earlier, like give them free value up front so they know that you are committed, because a lot of people aren't willing to do that. So spend an extra 20 to 30 minutes, make them a video, walk through their website, tell them what you could do for them, and send it to them and get on the phone, you know? So, I mean, because a lot of companies just aren't willing to go that extra mile to show what they can do. So that's my answer to that.
Okay.
And testimonials and case studies obviously help too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, if you don't have those, then,
I'm sorry.
You know, no, you're fine. I was just going to say, if you don't have those, like if you're just starting out, then your best bet is to really provide free value up front, but while being smart about it. Okay, I say that, but you have to be smart about it. You can't spend, you know, an ungodly amount of hours giving away free information. That's not recommended. But if you don't have case studies and testimonials, then that's where it comes in. If you do, then by all means, you need to play that up. Video testimonials from SEO clients are gold. So if you can get a video testimonial from a client talking about how you've helped them increase their rankings and get more leads, I mean, that's, you know, that's going to help.
Social proof. Yeah. I was going to say, the other thing is, if you need to, in your other time, is to rank, if you're selling SEO, is to rank your own site for stuff. Just proof of concept. Because you're going to get that, yeah, you're going to get that question, you know, if you can't rank your own stuff, why should I, you know, so be ready to address that, even if it's like a small term. Wilkem says, Chris, can you let Mandy do some of the videos in your Superstar SEO Academy? The bounce rate would be so low. Moving on.
Well,
I'm losing my...
Hi, Jade. You're in the KC area. Awesome.
Craig says, I built a business directory for my target area. Have you ever done anything like that? I thought about doing that, but I never got around to it.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. It's just, you know, too many things to do. So.
Sure.
Jade says yes.
I was in Overland Park, Jade. So I graduated from KU and then moved to Overland Park after college. Just FYI. I love KC. I just don't like the weather in KC. That's why I love California.
It's like we're caught up for the moment.
Awesome.
So if people wanted to get like some more information from you, where would they go?
Like, go to our Facebook group, Mod Agency Insiders. Because I share a lot of awesome information in there. Independence. Okay, nice.
I'll drop that in the chat right now.
I was in Overland Park and Gardner for the last 5 years. Ah, nice, Jordan. Okay.
There we go.
Perfect. Yep. So I am active in our Facebook group every day, sharing tips and answering questions. So y'all can join that.
Yeah, definitely join. All right. Well, we're caught up again. Give it another minute or two to see if anybody else has anything. And
okay. Perfect.
if not, we'll wrap it up.
Awesome.
I hate these awkward silences because sometimes it takes a while for the questions to catch up, and I just have to think of stuff to say like I'm doing right now. So.
Well, at least it's like two of us. It's more awkward when you're like by yourself, you know?
Yeah, right. I'll start talking about the weather or my cat or something.
Right.
Benny says, do you specialize in a specific niche? I think you covered that earlier, but...
I did, Benny, but you might have missed it. Yes, I like healthcare and B2B technology. Specifically, I like B2B healthcare. Healthcare in general, really.
Yeah. How'd you come up on that? Did you just have someone, or did you target that for a reason?
It was a random referral, honestly. That's how it started. So.
Same thing happened with me in the beginning. One of my first clients was a photographer, and he knew other photographers, and it just led to me kind of specializing in photography. So
yes,
I don't really mess with them much anymore, but it was good for me in the beginning.
It's okay, Benny. No worries, Benny. I will tell you, Logan, why healthcare. I will tell you a couple of reasons. One, it's not going anywhere. Like, everyone needs healthcare, right? Two, like, healthcare technology is booming right now, okay, like med tech. And three, I find that they are less of a pain in the ass to work with, and they don't try to micromanage you and act like they know it all, okay? So, like, the healthcare industry, they're very appreciative of work that you do, and they don't try to, like, second guess you. We've worked with, like, technology clients, like high-tech clients and SaaS companies, and to be honest, some of them have been kind of brutal to work with because they just constantly are going back and forth, and they think that they know more than you do about everything, right? Because they're in technology. But we have never had that issue with a single healthcare client. So they're easier to work with. They let you just take the reins. They trust you more. And they don't have time to be like, well, what is this? What is this? This is what we do. This is what we do. Like, they don't care. Like, they just want results, and they are appreciative. So it's a booming industry. They're easier to work with. They have the money to invest. And, you know, especially if you choose the right ones where their, you know, profits per customer are fairly high, they're going to keep, you know, they're going to keep you on, and they're easier clients, I have found. So that's why I like healthcare.
Jordan says, do you run any of your own healthcare niche sites?
I do not. Nope. That's a good idea, though, you know, if that's, you know, what you're really trying to focus on. We like using, like we were talking about, LinkedIn and other methods to get in front of those people, cold email, stuff like that. But that's not a bad idea to run those. I've bought domain names years ago with that in mind. I just never had to do that because I had steady flow of leads coming from other sources, but that did cross my mind, and they probably have expired now, but I do remember buying healthcare specific domain names.
There you go. Ben says thank you. All right, and we're caught up again. We'll give it another minute, and then maybe we'll wrap it up because it seems like the questions are dying down, even though we've got a good number of people here.
Awesome.
Carol says, what kind of info are you putting in your free niche ebooks that you give to prospects? How in-depth are you going?
Sorry, I just saw Chris's disregarding my angry face. Okay, good. As long as you followed it up with a heart, Chris, you're good. So I think the niche ebook that I'm, like the plastic surgery one, it's been a couple years since we've used this, but I'm thinking it was like 6 pages, and it had images in it. So not too detailed, but it did look nice, you know, so less than 10 pages, and they were like with graphics too. So it wasn't just like all text. It was like examples, you know. So I would say less than 10 pages with the notion that you're putting images and spacing things out. So really it's only like 5 pages or less of actual content with bigger font, you know, so you don't have to write like a book to send to these people.
Do you write that yourself, or do you have like a copywriter?
Yeah, I write, and then I hand it off to my better writers on my team to make it sound awesome.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yes.
Let's see. Logan says, I saw a Google site ranking #1 the other day. Thoughts on this? Without seeing this specific example, I can't say a lot, but Google loves Google, so it doesn't surprise me. So Attila says, with the current SEO services marketplace, would you still start building your own PBNs, or would you just focus on sales and buy SEO gigs to fulfill your SEO? It just depends. There's too many variables to really answer that, but there's advantages to both of those things. So the advantage to building your own is that you have control and you can do whatever you want. The downside is it's expensive and requires a lot of time and overhead. And a lot of people don't even use them anymore. So it's just totally depends on how you want to go about it.
Yeah, I would say I did my own, and it was like so much work that to me it'd be easier to hire, to buy gigs. That's just my opinion. But, we had several and expired domains, and so we kind of built our own. But like Chris said, like it takes time, to do that and keep it updated and all of that. So depends on what your end goal is. But if you have plans to actually use it and have the resources to spend the time doing it, then go for it. But if not, then don't.
When you do buy from other people, and have like a plan though. Don't just, I see a lot of people do what a friend of mine calls spray and pray, where they'll like just buy a bunch of gigs and have no plan for it and just want to see the response of each one. So have a plan for it, even if you're going to buy things from other people. That's something I see a lot of people doing wrong.
Agree.
Logan says, do you guys still use PBNs? I do.
Yes.
All right. Give it another minute or two.
That's another thing, too, that I want to mention about white label companies. For those of you who are considering hiring white label companies, if you've never hired this particular white label company before, even though they have good reviews, don't hire them for your clients before you hire them for yourself, okay? So this goes for gigs, too. It depends on the type of gig, but I strongly recommend, especially with white label companies, that you first hire them for your own website and test them out before you open the doors to them working with your client, because the last thing you want to happen is have, get in a bad situation where something is going on with your client's website because you didn't do your due diligence ahead of time. So I wanted to point that out too.
Good advice. Good advice. All right. Seems like we're winding down a bit. Don't you have something coming up that you wanted to tell us about?
I do. So we just launched ModGirl. So this actually closes down Monday at midnight. We just launched our Remote Agency Society membership to help remote agencies and marketing entrepreneurs really get focused on scaling quickly. So all these things that I've been talking about, like getting super clear on who you're going after, your niches, going out there and using effective lead generation that actually works so you can get those high-paying clients, and then selling those high-paying clients. So it's called Remote Agency Society. It's $47 a month. I get on Facebook Lives every single week, answer people's questions, coach them through challenges, and really help you guys stay super focused on scaling quickly with high-paying clients so you quit wasting your time on the little guys, basically. And so, yeah, that's it. And I'm super excited about it, but we just launched for the first time publicly. And like I said, we're closing down enrollment Monday at midnight. So you can check it out in Chris's link if you want to.
All right. So we got one more question, and then we'll call it a day.
Awesome.
Do you use a mixture of guest posts, maybe link insertions, or PBNs, or just PBNs? I use a mixture of all of those.
I think you put the link to the free event in there, Chris.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
All right.
Fine. You can post it later.
Yeah, I'll find it and get it later. All right. I guess that's it. Unless, do you have anything else you want to add?
Nope. Did you answer Adrian's question?
Yeah, I said that I use both. I don't know about you.
Yeah, same. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for coming out. Sorry about the technical difficulties in the beginning.
No, it's all good. Thanks so much, you guys, for joining us. I appreciate it. Happy Friday the 13th. We should have showed up with some Jason masks or something, Chris.
Yeah, I'm not that clever, unfortunately.
I know, right?
Just occurred to me. So cool.
My company name is Mod Girl Marketing. ModGirlMarketing.com, or you could just Google ModGirl. We show up there too. So
awesome.
Join your site. We're looking for ways to grow. Awesome, Jordan. Of course. Thank you for your time and hopping on here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great weekend. And thanks for having me, Chris. I had fun.
Thanks for doing it. It was fun. Have a good day.
All right. See you guys.
Thanks, everybody.